Hi friends, I am Yakuta Karkhanawala and today we are going to see the fourth type of if statement, that is ladder if statement. Ladder if statement is again it's used for checking multiple conditions. Checking one condition after another condition comes in ladder if statement. Let's understand how the conditions are being checked in ladder if using a diagram. As seen in this diagram, first it starts with the condition 1. The condition 1 is checked whether it is true or false. If it is true, then the body of the if statement is executed. But if it is false, then it comes and check for the second condition. If the condition is true, again the body of the else if is executed. If false, then it checks for the third condition. This process can be carried out for as many levels as possible. But at one point of time, whenever you will have else if condition, if it is true, then the body of the else if is executed. If it is false, then the body of the else part is executed. This else part will be executed only if the condition 3 is false. But after condition 3, no other new conditions is being tested by a compiler. So this is complete about else if condition, where the new conditions is being checked only if the previous condition is false. So how you are going to write down the syntax of ladder if statement? So first is it starts with the condition 1. If and in bracket condition 1. If condition 1 is true, then this body of if is executed, that is your statement 1 is executed. But if the condition is false, then it comes to the next condition. So how you are going to write down the next condition is first else. Else means it comes when the condition 1 is false. So else, and then you check for the new condition. So if in bracket the condition 2, that is L, that is the complete statement is else if condition 2. If condition 2 is true, then the statement 2 is executed. If it is false, then you come to the next condition, that is condition 3. Again, writing condition 3, use else if. So else if and condition 3. Condition 3 is true, then execute the statement 3. If the condition is 3 is false, then it comes to the else part and statement 4 is executed by the compiler. You can have any number of else if statement as you wish as per the requirement of the program. So we have seen the flow diagram, flow chart of ladder if statement, and we have seen how to write down the ladder if statement. What is the syntax of ladder if statement? So now we'll see two programs using ladder if statement. The first one is to find out whether a number is positive, negative or 0 and print a message accordingly. And the second program that we are going to see today is finding out the maximum of 3 numbers using ladder if statement. We have already seen how to find out maximum of 3 numbers using nested if. Today we are going to see how to find out maximum of 3 numbers using ladder if statement. Okay, so let's see the program for finding out whether a number is positive, negative or 0. For this, I am going to use Dev C++ editor. The first step is to create a new file. So go to File menu, New and then Source file. So the first thing is I'll write down the comment, that is program to find whether a number is positive, negative or 0. It's a one-line comment, so I'm using // Now I'll include the header file, hash include stdio.h. Then the void main function where we are going to write down all our executable statements. Now for this we'll require one number. Okay, so I'm taking integer data type and my number is, say the variable is n. I'm going to input some value inside this n. So for that, first a simple display statement, enter value of n/n, end it with semicolon, and then to input the value inside n, I'll use scanf. So scanf, it's an integer data type, so %d, comma, %n. So I'll get some value inside n using scanf. Okay, now I want to check whether this number which is been stored in n is positive, negative or 0. So for that what I'll do is I'll use my ladder if statement. So if my first condition to know whether a number is positive or not, for that what would be my condition? That if n is greater than 0. It is for positive number, the number should be greater than 0. If the condition is true, then I'll display a message, number is positive. You can write any simple message /n for new line, right? So if the condition is true, if n greater than 0 is true, then my message number is positive will be displayed. But if this condition is false, then I'll come to the else part and I'll put an another condition. So how you're going to put an another condition is after else, put space and then if. What would be my next condition? For a number, whether it is negative or not, my condition would be n less than 0. If this condition is true, then printf number is negative /n and with semicolon, right? So I have two conditions. One is n greater than 0 to print whether the number is positive, and n less than 0 to check whether the number is negative. If both these conditions are not satisfied, it means my number is 0. So I'll come to the else part. No new conditions is required. Simply write down number is 0 /n. So this is my ladder if statement where I'm checking one conditions after another conditions, and at the end of my ladder if I have else part without any condition. This is my complete program. My next step is to save the file. So we are going to save the file and save. Give the name of your file. So I'm giving my file name as ladder if. Save the file as C source file with .c extension. Save it. Now the next step is to compile my program. So for compiling my program, go to execute and compile. You should have no errors and no warnings here. Once a compilation is successful, we need to run our program. So how you are going to run the program? Again, go to execute and click run. Right? So you can see here my message, display message, enter value of n is displayed onto the screen. So I'll enter any one number. It can be a positive, negative or 0. So say for example, if I enter 9, it's a positive number, so my message's number is positive. Press any key to continue. If again I'll run my program, so directly run the program. Since we have not done any changes in the program, we'll not compile it. Simply execute the program. So this time I'm going to enter a new value of n. What would be my new value is, say I'm writing this time a negative value, -5, and enter. So my message's number is negative. Similarly, I'll check for the third time. Again, I have the message enter the value of n, but this time I'm going to enter the value 0. So my message should be the number is 0. So we have seen all the possible outputs of this particular program by entering different values of n. So this was about the first program to check whether the number is positive, negative or 0. Now we'll see the next program to find out maximum of 3 numbers using ladder if statement. So for that, again I'll create a new file to find a message to find maximum of 3 numbers using ladder if statement. Okay, so you can give any particular message. Now hash include stdio dot h under angle brackets void main. So this process will do every time whenever we write any C program. Now we have to enter 3 numbers first. Okay, so first I'll declare 3 numbers a, comma b, comma c. Now to have values inside a, b and c, I'll use scanf. So for that, first my printf statement, enter 3 numbers, any message that you want to display, and then scanf for entering the values inside a, b and c. I want to enter 3 values, I'll use %d 3 times, comma. The first value would be stored in A, so %A, that is address of A. And the second value would be stored in B, so address of B, and the third is address of C. So 3 values would be inputted and it would be stored respectively in A, B and C variable. Now I want to find out which is my maximum number out of A, B and C. So for that I'll use ladder if and condition. The first condition would be, I'll check whether A is greater than B and A greater than C. Here I am checking two conditions, that A, whether A is greater than B and A is greater than C. And between these two conditions I place logical AND operator. It means that if this condition is also true and the second condition is also true, then I'll get the final output as true. So in that case, my printf would be A colon percentage D is maximum number because A is greater than B and C, comma A. So this is my first printf statement. So A is maximum number is printed if both the condition is true. If any one of the condition is false, then I'll get the output as false because of logical AND operator. So if it is false now, then I'll come to the else part and I'll check my new conditions. So again, I'll put the conditions in this round bracket. What would be my new conditions? Now A is out of the picture, so I'm only left with two variables B and C. So my new conditions would be for checking which is the bigger number out of B and C. So my condition would be B greater than C. If this condition is true, then I'll write down printf B. So in that case, my B is maximum number, so I'll display its value. Okay, so this is my message. You can put /n after every statement. Okay, so this is done. So A's maximum number is printed because of the first condition and B's maximum number is printed because of the second condition. Now if the second condition is also false, then we will come to the else part. Now A is not maximum number, B is also not the maximum number, so I'm only left with the C variable. So I'll not check any other condition and simply display printf C percentage D is maximum number /n comma C. So this is complete program for finding out maximum of three numbers using ladder if statement. Now what would be a next step is to compile your program. So compile the program. You should not have any errors, no warnings. Now you can execute the program. So for execution, either press F10 or simply go to execute and run. So now I have the message enter three numbers. I'll enter three numbers. So the numbers I've entered is 1, 2 and 3. So the first number 1 is stored in A, 2 is stored in B and 3 is stored in C. Out of these three numbers, we have 3 as the maximum number which is stored in variable C. So my message would be C colon 3 is maximum number. You can try out to execute the program using different values of A, B and C. So I'll again run my program and this time I'll enter value in such a way that B is maximum number. So first 3 that is stored in A, then I have 6 which is stored in B and the third number I have 2 which is stored in C. So out of this 6 is my maximum number that is stored in B. So I'll get the result as B, that is 6 is maximum number. You can try out with different values of A, B and C and check the conditions and accordingly print the respective message. This was all about finding maximum of three numbers using ladder if. So that's all for today. Thank you. Goodbye.